So you found the right house. Now what? I'm gonna go over some of the things that you're gonna need to do to get that contract written, get under contract, and what are some of the next steps so that you know what to expect. Hey guys, this is Danny with the Selling Texas team. You have gotten the pre-approval, you've learned the market, you've gone out, you've looked at all of the houses, and you found the right one for you and your family. Now what do? We've talked about this before. We're gonna go over the market data and start to come up with a price range that works for you. We're gonna talk about a negotiation strategy on pricing, but also the terms and conditions. I'm gonna go ahead and get that contract written up. We in Texas use a promulgated form, so I am only gonna fill in the things that we talk about. We're gonna go over that entire contract. When you're super comfortable with that, we've got everything as far as the price, terms, and conditions for our initial offer. We will go ahead and submit it. Once we go through all of the negotiations, the seller sign off on it, yay, we're under contract. Okay, so then what happens is you're gonna need to write 4 checks. The first check you're gonna need to write is what's called earnest money. That's typically 1% of the sales price. So $500,000, typically $5,000. That goes and is held by the title company as consideration for the contract, that it is credited back to you at the time of closing. The second thing we're going to do is write a check for the option period. That option fee actually buys us the unrestricted right to terminate the contract during that option period. That gives us the leverage to negotiate after we've done any inspections. We can negotiate on any of those repairs that we need to. Having the option to walk away for any reason is that leverage. The third check we are going to need to write is going to be for the inspector. That is typically given to the inspector before or the day of inspection, and then we get the inspection report that evening. We will get back together, go over that inspection report. Yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect house, so there's gonna be things on that inspection report. We are going to go over and determine what are the things that we're gonna ask for. For my clients, I typically recommend that they only go after the big ticket items, everything that any buyer's gonna ask for. The roof is trashed. Okay, like every buyer is going to ask for that. So if they turn us down, now the sellers are aware that their roof is trash and they're gonna have to fix it for somebody or adjust the price. Might as well work with us. An outlet isn't working. You and I will figure out how we deal with that, but it's not worth losing the right house, especially if everything else is right. So I'm not gonna focus on those things. We need to know what those things are, and we can come up with a plan of what we do once we own the house, but we're gonna go after those big ticket items. The fourth and last check that you're gonna need to write is for the appraisal. That's where the bank sends an appraiser out to make sure that it is meeting the value that they are lending on. Now, there are reasons why sometimes we may purchase a house that doesn't appraise for what the sales price is, but you're gonna know about that way ahead of time. There are outs in the contract, points that we can renegotiate if we're not purposefully buying that house over the appraisal price. So it's super, super good to make sure we get that appraisal. And again, you pay for that when that is ordered. So those are the 4 checks that you are going to need to write. Okay, yes, I say checks because I'm old. It's all done in a digital format these days, whether it's a credit card or whether we actually use a payment system. The inspector typically uses credit card payments. The appraiser usually uses credit card payments. The earnest money and the option money are actually paid directly to title. Title holds on to the earnest money. The option money actually goes back to the seller themselves. Both of those total amounts are credited back to you at closing, and that is usually done through a payment system like a Venmo Cash App type of deal, but is usually very typically geared for that specific title company so we keep your money secured. So yes, it's all done digitally these days. days, even though the old man says you're going to write 4 checks. That is kind of quickly the process of what is going to happen once you pick the house, get under contract, finalize the negotiations, so that then we are well on our way to you moving into your new home. If you have questions about that, definitely post them, and I'm happy to answer and share my 30 years of knowledge with you. If you want to get a little more detailed than that, shoot me an email. If you're thinking about buying or selling and really do want to learn more about the process, go ahead, follow the link. Wait, hold on. Yeah, they're I just had to make sure they're definitely there. So follow the links in the description below. Schedule 15, 30 minutes with me. Happy to share everything that I can with you so that you are really prepared for what is a huge transaction, and we educate you and make it a super smooth, wonderful process and get you into your brand new home. Looking forward to seeing you guys and talking to you soon, okay?